doing a soup recipe today for you guys. It's actually one that I've been craving for quite a while. I think maybe since I've been doing low carb for so long, or keto dieting, I've been kind of missing having a good noodle soup. And now I'm doing carbs 1 day per week on Sundays to help accelerate my metabolism. And I've been watching a lot of YouTube recipes on different types of soups and stuff, and I wanted to do my take on a ramen noodle soup. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the ingredients I got here in the house and some of the things that I've kind of like made on my own. So basically what I have over here, a ramen noodle soup is kind of like a soup that you build. So first you make the broth usually, and then you put the noodles on the bottom of the bowl after they're cooked, or pre-cooked noodles, and then you add the vegetables or whatever toppings you're gonna put on it, and then you usually top it off with a hot broth. So basically I'm gonna make my broth with 3 different types of meat, and what I have here, this is actually salted beef, and this is something that I make here in my house. What I do is I'll buy a cut of beef and I'll put it in a wooden box and I'll salt it for 7 days to draw all the moisture, and it preserves the meat. And actually I have one over here that hasn't been desalted, and I can show you guys. This is what it actually looks like. It's completely dry. It's kind of like beef jerky. So what you do is you stick this in water like the night before you're gonna cook it, and you switch the water out a few times, and it basically desalts it, and then you have all the flavor of the meat being cured. So basically I'm using about 1 pound of desalted cured beef. I'm using 1 ham pork chop, and this is basically just a pork chop that has been turned into ham. I'm going to use that for my broth. I'm using 2 organic chicken breasts, 1 full onion cut into quarters. I got about 1/4 cup of lemongrass from my backyard, and I got about 5 cloves of garlic roughly chopped. And that's gonna be my broth first, and I'm gonna go ahead and, one thing that I noticed when I had like ramen or pho a couple of times, I don't know if it's just I had bad luck, but it seemed like the meat was like boiled. And usually I like to saute the meat when I make soups first to kind of sear in the flavor, and then I add the liquid. So I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do here first. With some sesame oil, I'm gonna saute my vegetables first and my meat, and then I'm gonna add the water for the broth. Okay guys, so over here I got a cooking pot, and I'm gonna take about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. And I really like sesame oil for these kinds of recipes because it adds a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna add the sesame oil to the pan. And this broth you can save, and then you could use it for later. Like if you're making other ramen soups, or even for pho, you can use the same broth for the soup. All you gotta do is just reheat it, or keep it in there. You can even freeze it and then use it for later. So I'm gonna make a good amount of broth here, so I can use it for later soups too. So basically I wanna heat the oil up, and then first thing I'm gonna drop is my onion, my 5 cloves of garlic, and my lemongrass. So once I saute the onion and the garlic for about a minute or so, then I'm gonna drop my chicken breast. This is gonna help to seal in that flavor without just going to a straight boil. Then I'm gonna add the ham chop and the salted beef. Just cook that off until the outside is cooked, just for about 2 minutes or so. And then I'm gonna add my water and about 1/4 cup to 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. And then we're gonna cook that for about an hour to get our broth. Okay guys, so the broth is basically done. I took out the chicken and the beef and the ham and I cut it into pieces. Now I'm gonna strain the broth. And I have some chicken and some of the salted beef and stuff left in there, and I use that for topping for other soups. Okay, so I have the cooked ramen noodles here, guys. Then as you saw, I strained my broth, and like I said, I'll use this for quite a few soups. So what I'm gonna do is, now I'm gonna put my soup together. I'm gonna top it off. I have my chicken breast here. I'm gonna put that. There's a topping. I'm gonna put my cut ham pork chop, the dry salted beef in the center. You can arrange it however you want. This is what's great about this. You basically build your own soup bowl. Then I'm gonna put some scallions over it. I have an egg that I cooked and then I just let it marinate in the soy sauce and the broth. So it's been marinating for a while. And then I got some jalapenos that I sliced. You guys can also use like bean sprouts. They taste really good. You can add whatever other ingredients you like, cilantro or any other ingredients. So basically, this is the main idea. The noodles on the bottom, then all my toppings, and then I'm gonna put my broth that I made right over it, and that's gonna kind of finish cooking it off. So basically, there you have it, guys. There's your ramen noodle soup. That's my take on it. It's totally done. It's very easy to make. And then I have all this broth. If I want to make other soups with it, I could just use this for it. All I have to do is just take my noodles, put them on the bottom, add my toppings, and then put the broth over it. It's just kind of a soup that you put together, not like your regular traditional soup that you cook all the ingredients together into a broth and then you just serve it all together. So it's a really, really cool concept and a really nice way to cook something different. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.